How's it going, everybody? I am the CDH Warrior, and as you saw from today's discussion, we're going to be talking about food allergies. So, excuse me a second. That should be better. So, part of what started this question idea was actually a comment from another streamer. I was watching a streamer, most of you probably, if you are in the VTuber community, you probably know this person, Doobie, who is a fairly well-known VTuber. Oh, that would help if my phone was actually on. Trying to monitor stuff is funny, folks. So Doobie the other day was talking about her own experience with food allergies. And she has admitted to having gluten allergy. Most of you probably know Doobie as part of the group with a couple of other streamers, Nimi Nightmare and Samiko Saba. But on one of Doobie's streams from the other night, she was talking about food allergies, and specifically that she has a fairly severe gluten allergy. And it got me thinking about the fact that we don't talk about food allergies that often. We talk about them in the context of, oh, these people have them, but I'm not one of them. Or we don't generally have to deal with it, so it's not an issue. Hello to my sixth viewer. How are you today? But I got to thinking about the fact that we don't talk about this. I myself have a lactose allergy, and it's hard when you're trying to figure out how many allergies you have, like in my case with lactose allergies. It's kind of uncommon and unusual. Hang on, I need to pull up another monitor for my stream. Give me 1 second, folks. Okay. Creator dashboard. Is this it? I think so. Oops. Stream manager. Ah! Here we are. So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about right now. In a little bit, I'm trying to figure out how to make things work. As you can tell, I'm still trying to figure out some things and figuring out how my setup is going to work. But we'll manage. That's not that big of an issue. But I'm going to go ahead and run an ad while you ponder this question. How common are food allergies in this country? Not so much in this country, but how common are food allergies in general? So I will see you back after this commercial break. I found that. Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed your odd commercial break. But I was talking at the beginning before we went to break about food allergies, and I was going to go through and pull some statistics. The two places I've pulled are from the Food Allergy Research and Education website, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So that's going to be my two sources for right now, or for this information. Good grief, I'll be happy when I can get all my rigging figured out. But anyway, on the topic of food allergies. Hello to my 6 viewers. We're talking about food allergies today, and I've been wanting to do some videos. Beginning of this stream, I commented about how I was watching somebody else's stream the other night, and they were talking about their own food allergies. So I found information. Here it is. So most people may or may not be familiar with the Big Nine. We're going to do food allergy research and education as our first source, and then an article on the Big Nine from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. I will link both of those in the information section of the video, and will try my best to add them as stats for Twitch, but I don't think I can do that to Twitch. We shall find out. But here's the basic question. What is the commonality of food allergies? I have 6 viewers right now. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to double check and double alert and do all kinds of other things right now. So the first article from Food Allergy Research and Education is a food allergy. Oh, come on, Twitch. Come on, Twitch. Come on, Twitch. Don't make me restart. Okay. So, we shall see if everything streams correctly. I should have checked my internet connection, but that's my own fault and stupidity. Got a cup of coffee as well. 33 million Americans have food allergies. More than half of adults... 33 million Americans have food allergies. That's 1 in 10 adults and 1 in 13 children. More than half of adults with food allergies have experienced a severe reaction. More than 40% of children with food allergies have experienced a severe reaction. What is a severe reaction? Things like anaphylaxis, which a lot of people are probably very familiar with. If you have food allergies and have lived with food allergies, you know about anaphylactic shock. You know about how these different issues come into play. I'm sorry, I'm not the most eloquent man. So, the other question is about the big nine. What are the big nine when it comes to food allergies? Um, a food allergy is a potentially serious response to consuming a food or a food additive. Specific foods. Um, people with, for those that are sensitive, a reaction can occur within minutes or hours. Um, symptoms can range from mild to life-threatening. Mine's mild. When I was listening to Doobie's stream last night, she was commenting about hers being relatively mild as far as symptoms, but kind of extreme for what her allergen was. She's got an allergy to gluten, which is, if I recall her comment, yeah, she has an allergy to gluten. She talked about it on her stream the other night, and that's where I'm pulled this question from. Over time, I'd like to do some different kinds of streams, but we'll work on this for now. The big nine are milk, eggs, fish, shellfish, tree nuts, peanuts, wheat, soy, and sesame. Why do I bring up these food allergies being a big issue? Hello to my fifth viewer. How are you? I am probably going to go ahead and run an ad Nope, can't run an ad really quick. I have had a mother who had an allergy to dairy, which unfortunately I now have an allergy to dairy. My grandmother had an unusual allergy to strawberries, which is not something a lot of people expect, but hers was very severe. Hello to my sixth viewer, how are you? We're talking about food allergies today. A food allergy is a specific type of adverse food reaction. Generally, it involves the immune system. The body produces immunoglobulin E antibodies in response to food. An allergic reaction ensues once a specific food is ingested and binds with the IgE antibody. Most food allergies are caused by certain proteins. Not always a protein. In my case, it's a sugar. Mine's lactose. Mine is due to not so much that we know this for a fact, but we suspect. Hello to my 8th viewer. How are you doing? I'm the CDH warrior. I talk about all kinds of random food, all kinds of random health issues on this channel on Fridays. So you have dropped into my chatting stream today. As I was commenting about allergies, my allergies are due to food. or due to lactose, which is a sugar rather than a protein. The Centers for Disease Control states that food allergies are a growing food safety and public health concern that affects 6% of adults and approximately 8% of children in the United States. 1 in 13. So 1 in 13 is a fairly high number. About 2 students per classroom. Food allergies are the leading cause of anaphylaxis, a potentially life-threatening allergic reaction. Food allergies symptoms appear within minutes or up to 2 hours after a person has eaten or has come into contact with the food in which they are allergic. Reactions can be hives, flesh, skin, or rash, tingling or itchy sensation in the mouth, face, tongue, or lip swelling, vomiting and or diarrhea, abdominal cramps, coughing or wheezing, dizziness and or lightheadedness, swelling of the throat and vocal cords, difficulty breathing, and a drop in blood pressure. My allergies cause me to bloat as well as suddenly stool out. Not an uncommon reaction, but definitely an unusual reaction overall. Abdominal cramping, which I also have due to my lactose allergy, coughing or wheezing, dizziness and or lightheadedness, swelling of the throat and vocal cords, difficulty breathing, and a drop in blood pressure. Persons with a known food allergy who begin experiencing symptoms or after eating or coming into contact with food should seek medical attention. In case of an emergency, call 911 immediately. Emergencies being anaphylactic reactions, where they stop breathing, or some other major issue happens. In the case of severe allergies, anaphylactic reaction is epinephrine, an EpiPen. That would help more or less prevent serious issues. That doesn't necessarily mean that it'll prevent everything, but it should slow down serious issues. One of the common ones, the foodallergy.org this is an interesting one. Question from foodallergy.org. Can food allergies be outgrown? Yes and no. Mine won't be. My sister did. Both of us have had major health issues, which I'm not going to go too heavily into right now, but they will come up in a later stream. What is the best way to prevent food allergies? Always read the label. In the case of what brought this question up, that's good. Always read the label. The reason why I brought this question up was, again, at the start of my stream I commented about listening to Doobie talk about her struggles with gluten allergies. These are not necessarily, hello to my 7th viewer. How are you? How's it going? I will probably run an ad in a second. Nope, still can't run an ad. Because we're going to start getting into some heavier things. Things to know if you're dealing with food allergies. Always read ingredient labels. If a food product does not have an ingredient label, please avoid it. That's your safest bet. If you're dining out, communicate your necessary accommodations to the server, restaurant manager, or chef. I hate to be that guy, but just because you dislike something doesn't mean you're allergic to it. I have a problem with people that try and use things that are, I just don't like, as their allergy. And that honestly hurts a lot of us that do have actual allergies. Mine is, like I said, a moderate lactose allergy. My grandmother having a severe allergy to strawberries was wild. But I wanted to bring that up and into perspective because a lot of people seem to miss that. They seem to misinterpret food allergy issues, food issues, how all this works. If your child has food allergies, teach them which foods they should avoid and what they look like. I unfortunately did not realize I was allergic to lactose until I was a teenager. I know a lot of people will have problems, give people crap about not knowing about their food allergies. I won't. I didn't discover mine until I was 15. And I figured out I was allergic to dairy. I didn't really have anything obvious, and we weren't thinking about that. This is kind of a TMI, but if I had dairy, I would end up stooling out, which is not a common issue. I guess it is a common issue with food allergies, but it's not what I would consider super common. So, not something you generally think about. What is the major cause of food allergy? What are major causes of food allergies? Or what foods cause the majority of allergies? This is an article I'm reading from the USDA. While over 160 different foods can cause allergic reactions in people with food allergies, the Food Allergen Labeling and Consumer Protection Act of 2004 identified the 8 most common allergic foods. These are known as the Big 8. Sorry guys, I've got to step over for a second. Okay. I stepped off to the side for a second, so I'm back. Um, the big eight: milk, eggs, fish, bass, flounder, and cod are common. Crustacean shellfish, crab, lobster, shrimp, tree nuts, almonds, walnuts, pecans, peanuts, wheat, and soybeans. In addition, in 2021, the Food Allergy Safety, Treatment, Education, and Research Act, the FASTER Act of 2021, declared sesame as a food allergen. If anyone has read a grocery store label in recent years, they've noticed sesame has come up as an allergen. And that is intentional because a lot of people don't realize how much sesame is in things. These 9 foods and any ingredients that contain protein derived from one or more of them are designated as major food allergens. Now to controversy, because a lot of people will find this so controversial, and I don't understand why. Alpha-gal syndrome, which is alpha-galactose syndrome. I'm trying to remember what the whole protein is called. It's a sugar molecule found in primarily fully mammals. Alpha-gal syndrome is a serious, potentially life-threatening allergic condition that can occur after the consumption of red meat and products made by mammals, i.e. cow's milk. Alpha-gal syndrome is commonly associated with tick bites, specifically Lone Star tick, although there have been several others that have been thought to be a possible carrier for this, but nobody's fully sure right now. Alpha-gal is a sugar molecule in animal protein. Beef, pork, lamb, rabbit, venison, and products made from animals. Dairy is added into alpha-gal, which a lot of people probably don't think about. Alpha-gal is not in poultry and fish. Poultry, fish, poultry, chicken, turkey, duck, quail, eggs, and then seafood. This kind of reaction can cause hives, nausea, vomiting, heartburn, diarrhea, cough, shortness of breath, or difficulty breathing. Dropping in blood pressure, swelling of the lips, tongue and throat, eyelids, dizziness and fainting, and severe stomach pain. Symptoms, again, as a standard allergy, 2 to 6 hours after consuming anything with the alpha-gal protein. Or being exposed to products that contain alpha-gal. Reactions are different from person to person. That's one thing that I want to push, is that there's no one-size-fits-all with food allergies. It's not one of those, oh, well, I have this allergy and it doesn't do anything to me, and person next to you may have a severe reaction to that same allergen. I don't think people fully understand how big of an issue it is. Does poultry cause allergic reactions? The answer is yes. Poultry meat is also a separate disorder. For those that are paying attention or watching. I'm kind of waiting for another ad because we're about halfway through this list. But most people who are sensitive to eggs can eat chicken. One protein is present in both eggs and poultry that can cause allergies to both foods. So if you have an allergy to the specific protein, you can be allergic to both the meat and the eggs, which that is a very specific, requires very specific testing. Hello to my sixth viewer, how are you? We're talking about food allergies today. I could have sworn it says I have. Yeah, it does say I have 6. Allergic to processed meats. Some processed meats can actually cause allergic reactions. And it's not so much the meat specifically. Things like poultry and meat products, hot dogs, chicken nuggets, canned soup, can be formulated with other ingredients that can cause allergic reactions. So, for instance, milk powder, wheat protein, things like that can be in soups and whatnot. Hang on a second, folks. I've got to scratch my ear. I think I'm getting it. We're almost done. I know you're probably getting bored of hearing me yap. Especially on something like food allergies. This is why when you have labels, they have to have volunteer. In addition to complete ingredient labeling, FSIS, which is the Food Safety and Inspection Service, supports practices that promote accurate and informative product labeling. Voluntary statements that alert people who have sensitivities or intolerances to presence of specific ingredients. An example is may contain milk, wheat, gluten, and soy. Or an item may say processed on equipment that has been in contact with X. More commonly in things like peanut and tree nut allergies than for items with like milk and dairy and things like that. Because oftentimes they're going to be processed in the same facility, or they're going to be in the specific product you're talking about. Additionally, further clarification may be added for a parenthetical statement on a specific ingredient. For instance, whey from milk. Protein powders. A lot of people forget how many protein powders have dairy in. I am very thin and small, and I had to go through dairy reading all of the protein powders and whatnot, standing there reading them the whole time. Um, some food ingredients can cause allergic reactions. Soy protein concentrates, hydrolyzed wheat proteins, um, they have to be listed. Why it's not connecting to my chat? Why are you shutting off? I'm gonna have to figure out some internet issues, but we'll figure that out. Hello to my fifth viewer. Thank you for staying with me. I don't know how this is going to work or what we're doing. Anyway, how do you know if a food contains a major allergen? Due to the FASTER Act, reading food labels is the best way to know if a product you're buying contains allergens. Um, in the ingredients list using the allergen's common name, the label has contains word followed by the major allergen. For example, contains milk. Or the ingredient list, in the ingredient list, in parentheses, the ingredient is a less common form of the allergen. For example, whey, and in parentheses, milk. Um, how do you know if a food was produced in a facility that also uses an allergic ingredient? Um, they actually have to state that on the label. Produced in plant that uses peanuts. Produced in plant that uses whey. Produced in plant that uses shellfish. That has to be listed on the ingredient statement. Now, since we've been dealing with the FASTER and FALCPA Act, it was not amended to apply to meat, poultry, and eggs. I don't know why they did that. It's just what they decided to do. What happens if FSIS discovers an allergen in a meat or poultry product that's not listed in the ingredient statement? That actually gets to be an issue. This is where you get global health or health recalls, federal recalls and mandates, because of the way these things work. They are required to issue a recall so that they can label um, and must notify customers of the recall and conduct checks on the recall effectiveness. Um, Last question on this list. What should you do if you believe a food product contains an allergen that is not listed in the ingredient statement? Um, there is a hotline for let's see. One 888 MP hotline, which is the meat and poultry hotline for the USDA. The other place you can go is Safe Food. Will report the products online um, for FDA related non meat food products, cereals, fish, produce, juice, pastas, cheeses, insert all kinds of different things. Um, I'm gonna try and make it to 6 o'clock and then let you all go. Um, so to wrap this up, food allergies are a common issue, and they can be very big and very hard to deal with. Um, okay, I just had an alert that popped up, and I wanted to see what it was. Um, Thank you to my 6 viewers who managed to stay. Um, I hope you have been informed, have had um, a fun time. And I hope to see you on Monday. Um, Next week I should have most of the parts figured out for my um, model, so I can actually, move my arms and I don't look like I'm flopping around on the screen. Um, Part of what's got it mad is the fact that I'm sitting down. So it has no concept of the fact that I'm sitting down. It just notes that I'm lower and kind of bent. I honestly wish I had a slightly better camera to track, although camera tracking is not great. Um, but at this point, we're going to look and see. Oh, looks like Cha Cha's online. She's doing another just chatting. We've got Shy Lily. We've got Mariyumi, who's doing the Immune Deficiency Fund, and then Cha Cha doing Digital Circus episode reacts. I think that would be more your speed rather than peak. Um, but I'm going to send you to Cha Cha. So we will be setting up a raid right now. Thank you for joining me. I will see you all next time, and I'm hoping next time I will have a slightly better. I need to get an end scene together, but we'll figure that out. But I will be sending you to Cha Cha, your V-Mom, who is watching Digital Circus. Have a great day. She's just getting started, so she hasn't officially started, so I will see you next time. So we will start the raid. Why are you not able to raid? Why am I not able to raid? Okay, I'm gonna refresh something and then I don't know why it suddenly reset. I think something went haywire. Why are you not able to start a raid there? I don't know who's just getting started. We shall see. Oh. Well, we may do Lime then. Or, better yet, Shy Lily's online. Is Soupy in here? She's huge, but we shall see. Why am I not able to do anything? I'm trying to do some... Oh, a snack tier list sounds like it'd be good. Let me see if I can... Oh, this would be a small one. Okay, now we can raid. Got 3 raiders going in. I don't know who else is... But we will...
after, yes. I did eat majority of it, but man, that's still gonna be a challenge. Oh, I don't think I will like
Have a great day.